Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. We had a great day today. We went to Masjid al-Tawheed to confront Usama Hasan with the stuff that he's been saying. It was an open challenge and it was initially his invitation. And from the reports that we've heard, his father actually made an announcement the day before suggesting that anybody who would like to challenge Usama Hasan should attend. And Alhamdulillah, it's something, an idea initiated by brothers like Imam Shakir, Brother Shakur, Abu Talha and myself, that we should come here today and confront this person and challenge him, because he's asked for a debate, he's asked for a challenge. My take on the whole thing was obviously good and bad. I mean, I wasn't happy at all at the fact that this was organized at Masjid, because frankly the call to evolution is a call to kufr and apostasy from Islam, and a house of Allah Azza wa Jal is not to be utilized for fahisha, for drinking and smoking, let alone open and clear-cut kufr such as evolution of Adam from apes. But it is very unfortunate that it actually came to this, and I'll also mention why I believe it came to this as well, and who are, I believe, responsible for the situation the way in which it has developed, without mentioning names, because people, those are responsible, they know who they are. But firstly, as I had anticipated the event may in some way work in his favor, is actually something that happened, and that is by Sheikh Suhaib Hassan unfortunately standing up and addressing the public by saying that there are two opinions on this issue, whereas vast majority of the scholars believe that Adam alayhi salam was created from clay directly, instantaneously by Allah Azza wa Jal. There is another opinion according to Sheikh Suhaib, and which is also held by Ibn Maskawayh and Ibn Khaldun and others, that Adam alayhi salam actually evolved from other human beings. This is how it was presented, and this is exactly what I feared will happen, that this belief, which is in fact kufr and ridda from Islam, will eventually become an acceptable, legitimate opinion which we should all tolerate and not make takfir or not make inkar upon each other, let alone takfir, unfortunately. We'll come to that later as to why it happened. First and foremost, as far as his beliefs are concerned in evolution, it goes without saying that it is a matter of ijma', consensus amongst the modern scholars, from Pakistani Deobandi Hanafi scholars to Shafi'i and Maliki and Hanbali scholars of Saudi Arabia, such as Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen, Ibn Baz and Al-Ghulaiman, that to believe that Adam alayhi salam evolved from apes is kufr and apostasy from Islam. Ibn Uthaymeen in particular, he was asked this question about a teacher who comes into the classroom and preaches evolution. He said that not only this person who is in position of teacher, a school, should be expelled, but even outside of the school he should be monitored in terms of his activities and his contacts to make sure he's not misguiding others, and he should be stopped by any means necessary, even if it means his execution. And upon that, Ibn Uthaymeen was asked, do you mean that it is permissible to execute him? Ibn Uthaymeen says yes. If there's absolutely no other way of stopping this person except execution, then this person should be executed, because he is an apostate, and apostates are executed. Now, this is the opinion of Ibn Uthaymeen, and I'm quoting Ibn Uthaymeen verbatim from his Fatawa Nur al-Addab, and you can go and refer to this fatwas yourself. The point of quoting this fatwa is not that people or individuals listen to this message and they figure out for themselves what to do, but only this fatwa is only being quoted for information purposes, because executing people is solely the responsibility of the Imam who is implementing Sharia in a Muslim country, and is not up to individuals to take law in their own hands and contemplate executing Usama Hasan. So here's a disclaimer from me, a very important disclaimer in case of Usama Hasan takes this statement and gives it to the police to get me incriminated, because a person like him will do that. That's number one. That's the first count of takfir on Usama Hasan. Secondly, he's also made statements regarding hijab on Half Talk. He's appeared and he said and questioned the obligation of wearing the headscarf, not the niqab, but covering of the women's hair. And he said that it's not obligation. once he was asked a question in an email, which is documented late 2009, about his opinion on the headscarf, and he said that yes, in certain cases he doesn't believe that it is obligatory for women to cover the head because in this country we need to give da'wah, and we mustn't look like ninjas and clowns. These are his words, that by growing our beards and by wearing the niqab or wearing the hijab, we are like ninjas and clowns. These were his words, and this is another count of kufr, or charge of kufr against Usama Hasan. And Sheikh Salih al-Munajjid says on his website that both niqab and hijab are a matter of consensus amongst the Muslim scholars, such that if a person denies the obligation of wearing the hijab, which is to cover the head for women, of course, then this person is an apostate. He is no longer a Muslim. And this fatwa is also found on the website of Sheikh Salih al-Munajjid. And that's the second charge of kufr. The third charge of kufr is for him to call for secularism, and he actually gave lectures at the launch of Qulium Foundation, which is anti-Muslim secular organization that seeks to change Islam from within and shred Islam of all its political aspects, the Sharia in its entirety. And the other organization called British Muslims for Secular Democracy. He gave a lecture at both of these events. At the second lecture in particular, he claimed that Islam has no problem with political secularism. Islam has no problem with political secularism. The only a metaphysical secularism that Islam has problems with. In other words, that a person can do away with the entire Sharia so long as he believes in God. This is the belief of Usama Hasan, and in that vein, we know him. Obviously, he has spoken about hijab, that is not obligatory. He has spoken about also the marriage contract. If you remember, he was involved in writing up this marriage contract, which allows men and women to get married without any wali's permission or without any witnesses as stipulated in the Sharia, and which was effectively called a zina contract by Shaykh Haytham al-Haddad. So this is an example of Usama Hasan secularism. Shaykh Salih al-Fawzan, he said about anybody who attributes themselves to kufr philosophy such as communism, secularism, capitalism, that these people are apostate, and if they claim to be Muslims, then these people are major hypocrites, major munafiqeen, because on the one hand, they outwardly claim to be Muslims whilst they are inwardly kuffar, disbelievers. So this is the third charge of kufr against Usama Hasan.